Use the Force, Luke.
Sometimes truth isn't good enough.
I feel the need for speed.
Ray, when someone asks you if you're a god, you say yes!
Because it's their time. Their time. Up there. Down here, it's our time. It's our time down here.
Well, it says live in the top left-hand corner, so I think I'm just going to have to cross my fingers and go through it. I don't know what else I can do on this side, so welcome back to everybody that's here at 9 o'clock on our Wednesday night FrostCast hour. Happy to have folks here. It's been a heck of a long and hot week, but there's a lot of stuff to talk about and I got King Z here sitting shotgun as usual. We're going to be a bit all over the place tonight. I think we're going to touch base on Superman for sure, because I can't make heads or tails of this. Like, the money situation is wild one day and then not wild the next. And then they had a banger Tuesday on Tuesday discount day for what I was seeing, like a certified banger, like an opening Thursday level banger, like 25 million something.
What I think is that a lot of people are waiting for word of mouth to come out before going to go see it. They weren't ready to go to the theater on opening weekend. Maybe some people didn't want to fight the crowds, but they waited for that word of mouth. And why not on discount Tuesday, $5 Tuesday?
It's a no-brainer. I mean, especially since I think even predating word of mouth on Superman, we knew it was going to be a more family-friendly, leaning into like the Guardians of the Galaxy stuff on the kind of tone. It was going to have a bright color palette. It was going to be more upbeat, all that good stuff. People weren't really, I don't think, are as willing to drag a bunch of kids into like Dark Knight Rises or Batman v Superman. But this particular Superman, based on the trailers we saw, looked like it was going to be more kid-friendly. So if you're going to bring 2-3 kids to a movie theater, are you going to do it for $100 or are you going to do it for $30? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You do it 30, hands down.
Yeah. I do want to point out to everyone who's here with us, we are experiencing some technical difficulties. We are not seeing your live chats in our area. So we're trying to see if we can get this fixed. But right now, we can't really see it. We're going to have to do it from the actual chat. So,
good luck with that, everybody. So, Pape, Travis, iSpark, and all the other usual suspects, we love you, but we can't see you chatting. So, we're just going to carry on and let the Oracle do her thing with King Z in the background.
Hi, Zap Thanes, and hi, Pape.
Now your volume is crazy, stupid, loud, and echoing. So turn that down. Mute yourself. I'll handle this. So, I think King Z's right on the bargain Tuesday for one thing, but I think more importantly, it's just word of mouth generally, and I think that feeds from several sources. I think the mediocre superhero movie fatigue is real. I think things like brand damage are real, no matter what. And I think that James Gunn coming off of successes in Marvel aren't an automatic guarantee that your new franchise for the other team launches successfully. So I think this movie may have been dragging some extra baggage with it, but I think now the impression has been largely favorable. I know when I sent you the topic idea, it said, are we going to go TLJ on this movie? Dude, I have the Rotten Tomatoes scores up here, right? And I will boomer my way through the screen share.
Boom, and we are fixed.
There we go. Nicely done. This is my screen share right here, guys, just so you can see the ratings. 83 and 93%. And even if you go through and switch them to the top critics, takes a little dip there. But the audience holds strong, and that's really the only metric that I ever care about when I'm talking movies. That this is fans, and the fans are telling you 25,000 ratings, dude. 25,000 ratings. I mean, that tells you everything you need to know. People are wildly satisfied with this movie, and good for them. I'm glad people love it on that level. If I remember our scores from last week's review, or earlier in the week's review, was like 8.5. I think that's fair. I think that's probably a nice little consensus on what most of those people thought. For the thumbnail, I had to scroll for a solid 5 or 10 minutes to find that 1-star review that I used in the thumbnail. Total disclosure. Like, it took a while to find a campy negative one. And my own review wasn't negative either. If you remember,
I gave it 1 out of 10. There's someone who didn't like it. They don't like the changes he made. and the TLJ comment is just way off base, because the one thing that TLJ did that this one did not in any means is that they destroyed the legacy character. They didn't do it. They did not destroy the legacy character here. Superman was still Superman. He made his choices different because of how they changed his backstory, but Superman in the grand scheme of things was still Superman.
Fair. They didn't give him the Luke Skywalker treatment. That's true.
Yeah.
I would say they changed canon in a way that I think a lot of people that are dissatisfied with the movie didn't like. His Krypton Jor-El. People aren't down for that. There's memes everywhere which are kind of funny, where it's like it's got the clip of the old Marlon Brando, like his clips of his speech to Superman, and then clip Russell Crowe's Jor-El to Superman, and then there's new Bradley Cooper was
Bradley Cooper. Yeah,
I didn't even notice that on the first pass. And like the clip underneath his is "fuck bitches." And I'm like, yeah, it's a bit. That's about what it was. So I mean, it's meme-tastic, but you're right. It's not TLJ, and it's bottom line essentially can't be TLJ because the conversation is so weighted to people that enjoyed it that it's not a 50-50 split. It's not even a 60-40 split, like I said, based on the tomatoes. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's an overwhelming. Like if this was a Steam rating for like gaming, it'd be overwhelmingly positive, hands down. You know,
yep.
And I think it will leg out, like you said, but we'll know that Friday. Like when we see that dip Friday, like if it dips 70%, we'll see where it goes.
Worldwide, I checked it today. Worldwide, it's already made $355 million.
It got to 355 worldwide?
Yeah.
Already?
Yeah.
Damn, dude. When I looked earlier, I swear I saw 250. Maybe that was just domestic, though. I don't know. That couldn't even have been domestic.
No, domestic was like 155, and then it was another 155 to like 160 worldwide. Like it had that slow international. Remember, we checked it.
It really did. Yes,
and
that's why I was scared.
It opened up in more markets worldwide, and now it's banging.
Oh, dude. So then maybe this gets the what was that? I think it was not Inside. It was the Elementals, the kid movie from a couple years ago. They had that kind of mediocre, tepid start, and people were taking a couple dunks on like, oh, it's another bomb for Pixar or DreamWorks or whatever. But slowly but surely, I think parents are like, oh, you know, nobody in soccer group said that this was stupid, or you know that it had messaging I don't want for my kids. So maybe we've now crested that wave. And this is it. Like it's going to explode with like, it's not going to exceed weekend one. Movies never, even with great word of mouth, like it's not going to do that. But imagine if it comes in at like 80% of weekend one. Like it's on its way to profitability. There's no way it's not at that point.
Oh, it's 100% already made its money back, because the production budget was $255 million, and then the marketing budget was $125 million. So I mean,
I always like
after this weekend, it'd be good.
I know they like to underreport that kind of stuff. So I mean, I think you're right though. After the weekend, like if they walk away with 550, everything after that's gravy, and then like maybe this lands somewhere in the neighborhood of 750, 800 mil, which they'll take as a W. Not everything's going to be a billion. They wanted a billion. Don't get me wrong. You want flagship Superman to hit a bill, but I think even if it's recovered, I think that initial hype phase of waiting word for mouth, maybe people just forget about it because then it gets closer to streaming. You know what I mean? Not that this is going to be on streaming like next week or anything like that.
No.
Looking at like November. You know what I mean? Like it's going to be a hot minute. So it seems like it's like, I thought of something the other day, though. It wasn't worth taking another point off of it. But you know what really chapped my ass that didn't make it into the movie?
What was
that? I'm
that?
surprised you didn't notice this. Dude, where was the scene where he was in Clark Kent mode and saw the disaster unfolding and gave you the shirt rip emblem reveal?
Yeah, they did not do that.
Oof, that kind of hurts, dude. Dude, I think that's staple. For me, that's staple. I'm not going to actually take the point off. I'm not going to go at him like that. But dude, when I was driving, completely unrelated. Like, I don't know if you know this. It's going to be my fast food segue for the day. You know, McDonald's has a spicy sausage McMuffin right now.
Yeah. You know what else is back at McDonald's? And this is how I want to start off until we had the technical difficulty. The snack wrap is back. The snack wrap is back.
It is back in two flavors.
They
got fiery.
Yeah.
So they must have had extra sauce and they put it on my McMuffin.
The honey mustard one was the one, but this is like proof we are completely out of the pandemic, because that was the last thing of the pandemic that went away. And now we can move forward. Everything's becoming right in the world again. We're getting the snack wrap.
The world continues to heal. But guys, if you haven't had the spicy sausage egg McMuffin, check it out. They lather that orange shit on there, and it's got some zip. It was good, not bad. But back to Superman though. Right?
So I was wrong about my number. It is 314 million. It's made worldwide.
Even still, I hadn't heard it hit 3. So I mean, that's still remarkably more than I thought it was going to get through probably weekend 2. And maybe I was foolish in thinking that just because I've kept my finger on, dude. I didn't keep my thumb on the pulse of the Rotten Tomatoes review, like when we were playing that game with the Armorous on how low the Acolyte rating can go. And we're texting each other like 20, 19. It was like watching the ammo counter in Aliens when they're in the hallway with the auto guns running down. Like people calling me, I'd be like, oh my God, it's down to 13. They didn't get like that.
Quick segue. There are rumors of a animated Acolyte series coming.
Stop it. You're the one that doesn't want to talk about the Acolyte.
I don't want to talk about it, but
you want a segment on the Crapolite? Let's do it. You know it got nominated for a fucking Emmy, right? You hear that? Did you hear that part?
No, I didn't.
Nominated for an Emmy. Honestly, Pape, you're not really missing anything. I'm a sucker for it because I like salt on my fast food, and the McDizzle has it. It's not good for me. I'm not saying it's quality food.
Not quality food at all.
It's not quality.
But they have that $5 menu where you can get a double cheeseburger or a McChicken with a small fry, 4-piece nugget, and a small drink.
It's not good, but it's value. It's a value hits. It does. I'll pop by for a couple of McDoubles every now and again.
I'm still not paying $11.99 for a Big Mac meal, though. I'm sorry about that.
I took Winter Wolf Pup to Burger King the other day, and I know people show up to hear us talk about fast food, and it was probably our most popular short on YouTube to date when we went off on that tangent a month ago. I took the kid to BK the other day. I think we were on our way to How to Train Your Dragon live action, right?
Okay.
My son is 9. He's outgrown the kids meal for the most part. Every now and again, he needs more nugs. He's hungry, but so this time he did get the other kid, the BK kids meal. It's a 6-piece nugget, fries, and a drink. There's no apple slices in it like McDonald's throws in, right? That effing kids meal cost me $9. $9, right? I made the mistake of getting the How to Train Your Dragon. It was the flaming Whopper meal. It was, again, something else had spicy sauce on it, pepper jack, and like jalapenos.
It's supposed to be the Dragon's Fire.
The fire, right. So I'm looking at the menu. Oh man, it's like fucking $13.99. And then my brain goes on not thinking mode. And the girl at the register taking the order, she goes, "Would you like cheese and bacon on it?" And I'm like, "It doesn't have that shit." She's like, "No, do you want it?" I'm like, "All right, I guess." Dude, the whole thing cost me almost $40 fucking after cheese, $30 after cheese and bacon. It was crazy. They upcharged me like $7 for cheese and bacon. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Retardsville. Couldn't do it, but it was tasty. But
now, I was a Whopper flopper. My first job.
You said it before.
Winter Wolf here was a chicken plucker.
Plucker. Yep. PL people. PL. Yeah. Easy before we get all the South Park memes in my DMs. That'll happen. Remember the Reading Rainbow guy? Yeah.
So I always asked the question back in the day. Whoppers themselves, full Whoppers, 99 cents. Whopper Juniors, $1.35.
Dude, I remember that. You're not wrong. That's not a Mandela effect. That's a thing. And I'm like, I remember somebody trying to explain that shit to me was because the Whopper Junior had
maybe a little.
Saying, it happens. The Whopper Junior had like, what was the thing? Whopper, because Whopper has lettuce, tomato, onion. Was it because the Whopper Junior had pickles on it? They had to whack you for 40 cents. I'm like, I don't think that math doesn't math.
It was built the exact same way as a Whopper, but it was on a hamburger patty on a hamburger bun, instead of a Whopper patty on a Whopper bun.
I don't get it. I don't get how you can charge less for more beef.
Yeah, exactly.
The math
I'm like, why don't I just get a Whopper at that point? It's 99 cents.
Saying, let me get 2 of them because I could eat 2 Whoppers. That'd be all right. And I actually don't mind all the veggies on a Whopper. I don't mind. Now, let me ask you this, though, and then we can get back to Superman and whatnot. You ever had the double Big Mac? You get the 4 patties on it divided by 1 bread with the sauce?
No, but I have had the Mega Mac.
What's the Mega Mac?
It's a Big Mac sandwich, but it's done with quarter pounders.
Quarter pounders. Oh, dude. Never had a Mega Mac. The double Mac, or the Super Mac, or whatever they called it up here last summer. That's been out before. I'm like, that's like eating 2 McDoubles. I already do that, but dude, 2 quarter pounder for a Big Mac, Mega Mac?
Yeah.
I have to call some people, make some calls.
It's on the hidden menu. You can ask for it.
I don't see why they shouldn't be able to too. It's like they're not going out of their way. Just put 2 of these on an effing bun. Like make it happen. Yeah, should be a thing.
It is done now. It is a $12 sandwich alone, not combo.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay in this economy. I guess you're going to be okay with that. But I'll tell you something else about this economy too. The Superman bucket, because they had one at my theater. Yeah, you should feel bloated thinking about all that sodium.
Well,
it's like
we need
7 days
sodium down here in
sodium.
the South. How much sweat? And we need that water retention.
No, what you need is some Gatorade to replace it. That's what you need. You actually don't need.
Do you know that drinking Gatorade straight is actually bad for you? You're supposed to cut it with water.
I've never heard that. Heard that.
Drinking Gatorade straight could be damaging to your body because of how much sodium and other stuff is in it. It should be half and half.
Oh, no shit. Never knew that. Yeah, maybe that's how the formulation of a Pedialyte is safer, for rehydration purposes. You don't forget, regular Gatorade has 7 pounds of sugar in it anyway. Like it's not an ideal.
Yeah, and the original Gatorade never had any sugar in it.
Right. No, that's a marketability. That's why. You need soda, you need sugar and stuff to sell for $3 a bottle. But the bucket topper for Superman up here, right? Is at the movie theater. It's $25, right? I'm like, okay, that's whatever. I'm not buying them. I don't buy bucket toppers, but I was thinking about. I had heard the other day the Galactus bucket topper for Fantastic Four. Guesses on price for this? It's not 25, $80. Because it's two orders of the large buckets. So it's 2 large popcorns worth, and then the top itself comes off, so like it's its own separate piece. Like it's a bucket with a detachable top, and I think the eyes light up or some bullshit. $80. They're like, whatever. You keep it. You buy them all and put them on eBay. I ain't buying one. You guys are out of your effing minds. I don't need 2 large popcorns anyway. My kid's a vacuum for popcorn, but I'm not doing it. $80 for $80, brother. I'm not doing. Hand to God. Now, and of course, like anything else, because I don't know if you guys knew this. I don't know if King, we don't buy these bucket topper things. Or
No. I do laugh at them, especially after the Dune 2 one.
The Dune one was too funny.
And then the Ryan Reynolds joking with the Wolverine one.
Yeah. Dude, the Dune one that has a we'll call it a secondary market. You know what I mean? There's a whole different type of fan buying the Dune one. I suspect
maybe they might be only the fans.
Yes, I'm thinking. But people are buying these things up, man. Like people snatch these up like they're Magic the Gathering cards or Lorcana cards, and they sell them secondary on like eBay. So like certain theater chains, like I know we have AMC up here. Do you have AMC down there?
No, we don't have an AMC here because I wanted some stubs, and they got no stubs down here. We got Georgia Theater Company, and then we have Regal.
Yeah, okay, we have there's still some Regals up here as well. But AMC, I guess, after the debacle that was, as a matter of fact, I think it was the Dune bucket. They did the 2 per person rule, like per day. So like you couldn't be a dick and like walk outside and be all like showboaty, walk back in and try to get 2 more. They're like, nah, dog, we're not doing that. Like we're not going to deprive kids of blowing their parents' money. But yeah, I thought that was wild for buckets. I didn't see any good toy tie-ins either with any of the fast food up here. Not that those toys are ever any good.
I think a lot of those tie-ins are going by the wayside. Like McDonald's used to be big on it, like especially but McDonald's has slowly and surely, because of child obesity, they stopped putting like a lot of their animated stuff tied in with the Happy Meal now.
Yeah, the last big one I saw, they definitely did one for Minecraft because we snagged a couple of those.
Yeah, they had the special meal for the Minecraft.
Yeah. I don't remember what they did before that. I'm trying to think of like Disney movies like Frozen or something that had a tie-in, and you're right. I don't remember any. Not that I
think the last Disney movie I remember them doing was the first Frozen. After that, I really don't remember them tying
15
in.
years ago now, right? Like that's old.
Yeah. They let it go.
They did let it go nicely done. I see what you did there. That was clever. That's one of your better moves. I remember back in the day. Remember when did McDonald's get Batman '89? That was like a giant ass deal when they got that. I remember Kentucky Fried because I was still over there as a young wolf. They somehow spent all of their money and got the rights for Phantom Menace, and then had the worst effing toys imaginable, like a rubber frisbee as like a fried chicken bucket topper. Right? That's the thing. That's what kids were gonna tell their parents they wanted. Morons. But what are you gonna do? But I've seen a little bit about this the Superman thing in a couple of other stories too. I guess like dog adoptions are up like 500% or something. People are inspired to go rescue dogs. Everybody wants a crypto. I'm like, now is this going to be the Easter bunny, Easter chickling situation? Like, King's going to run out and get a dog, and then like 2 weeks from now realize they're a lot of work, and then bring it back to the shelter? Like, because you're a scumbag if you do that. You kind of are.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're a scumbag if you abandon the dog like to the street after adopting it more, but still. Elio in June 2025.
What's up, CR Hockey?
Dude, Elio. I don't even Elio. I don't even remember that showing up. And that was like 5 seconds ago.
Yeah.
My kid was not banging down the door. Here. Yeah, my kid was not banging that. Did I ask my kid twice if he wanted to see it? And he goes, we talked about that at school, and nobody knows what that is. Like when I ask, he watches a lot of our stuff when I tell him it's okay. So I'm like, if he hasn't seen it playing Roblox and he hasn't seen it on YouTube Kids ads, he's not interested in it. And that's why that movie dumpstered, for all of its other storytelling reasons, which ties in nicely to the video that I did solo earlier this week. Not that I'm doing a big topic on it. I don't know if you guys are going to go check out my thoughts on K-pop Demon Hunters and why it's absolutely mopping the floor with Disney this week. You go take a peek at that. Because he was much more interested in that than Elio, I assure you of that. And that's neither are typically his vibe, but he recognizes good storytelling. But yeah, there was the crypto thing. And then people starting to buy up Supergirl comics. They want to see that a lot of people picking up the Tom King Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow book to get ahead of the story, because that's like 18 months away, I think, something like that. It's not long. Somebody said McDee's did the Elio, and then I saw Elio. Isn't that a badass frozen pizza? I'd rather have some Elio's frozen pizza than go see that movie. I think that's the short of it. To be honest,
it's not delivery.
It's Elio's.
Yeah.
I might pick up the Supergirl book because I don't know dinkwad all about the character, and I kind of want to do that pre-reading like I've been doing lately with some of the other stuff.
Yeah, I don't know anything about this the Supergirl run that they're running with the Women of Tomorrow, and they said that the end of the movie ties into the actual Woman of Tomorrow storyline too. Like it's
the end of
in that storyline of Superman, where she shows up and gets crypto and she's drunk.
Yes, that's because that's her post rebirth reinvention of the character. Like that's not her traditional origin. It's something that they've developed over time, and it ties into the Tom King run. I think it's from like 2016 when I Amazoned it or something. So I gotta order that and take a peek and see how that plays out. But I was talking to another high school friend of ours who had asked me. Ironically, he asked me the day we were putting up our review video. He said, "Did you guys see this? You guys talking about this? What are your scores?" And I was like, "Oh, Ken gave it an 8. I gave it a 6.5 or whatever. You gave it an 8.5. I gave it a 6. He came back closer to your score, and then he was like, hopefully they nail it with whatever comes next." And I was like, "Well, it depends on what you want, because you're getting Supergirl next and Clayface after that and a Lanterns TV series and Creature Commandos."
Clayface is a show as well.
No, it's a movie, isn't it?
No, I thought it was a show. I'm pretty sure it was a show on Matt.
I think it's an elsewhere film feature.
Because it's Face of Horror. It's Clayface, the Faces of Horror.
Yeah.
So Pape asked, how can a Kryptonian get drunk, though? I have
as it happens. They explained it, King Z. You have the floor, because I'm sweating the balls off here.
With their yellow sun, their metabolism's too high and they cannot get drunk. But if they could go to a civilization on a red planet or on a red sun solar system, they don't have their powers anymore. Which makes me wonder how they fly back and forth. But that's another subject for another day.
That's FWI waiting to happen. That's FWI. She's gonna get pulled over and be all like,
yeah. So that way their metabolism isn't as high, so they can get drunk, and that's what she likes to do every now and then because she can't get drunk on Earth.
Yeah. The description of the book that I'm about to buy for her says that it's the Tom King's take on the character is more gritty, more noir, and heavily inspired by Westerns. And I'm like, well, let me tell you right now. That sounds pretty terrible and not at all what I want from most female superheroes. It just doesn't hit the vibe for me, like at all. Red sun tanning beds. Yeah, I guess that would actually cook them a little bit. The yellow sun tanning bed wouldn't do anything.
If you watched our review, or if you went back and watched the movie of Superman Red Sun, SON, the Batman traps him with red UV lights, and it takes away his power. Gets his arm
one of
broken.
the better scenes. That was one of the better scenes in that. Sorry, I'm just looking away at some incoming familial stuff. Never mind. Yeah, it was one of the. You guys should go check out that review. We had a good time with that. I think we both came out pretty high on rating that one. Spoiler alert! You guys go check that out.
DC animation always hits for some reason. I can't explain it, but somehow their animation team is just on point usually.
Yeah, we should mix in another anime one after we do a couple more retro watches and get a couple more best of worst ofs. Can we talk about those real quick before we move on to like the Star Wars?
Yeah, let's go ahead and talk about them.
So for this upcoming retro watch, I've already rewatched it. It's kind of another one. I feel like this is a good vibe for the playlist. Is underrated, nearly forgotten movies. We're gonna go with Wes Craven's Shocker. Came out of nowhere. I don't know. I don't remember. Dude, did you pick that? Did I pick that? I don't even remember. I was like,
I picked it because we were thinking about something, and I'm like, what about the Shocker?
Right. And I was like, yes, let's do that. Let's do that one because I love Mitch Pileggi in that role as Horace Pinker. Best part of the movie. But we'll get into that and we'll do a retro watch on that.
I remember watching this movie like 2 or 3 times on VHS, and then of course HBO back in the day would have pretty much the same lineup every day. They would change up every now and then, but the movies always ran the same. So it's like 7:00. Shocker's on. Okay, let's watch it again.
Dude, and that's not that I want to get into our whole review here, but like it's again, I feel like movies made before like 2005. Like they earn their runtime. So that's the one thing I'll say right here is like I ripped through that. I put that movie on at like 8:30. It was like 10:15. It was done. The whole movie was over. Credits were already rolled. I was already off Amazon Prime. Bang. Already writing down some notes that I wanted to talk about. I'm like, I miss movies like this. No overcommitting, no overstaying your welcome.
And then of course we have best of worst stuff coming out again this weekend. So kind of happy to get back into that flow. And it is going to be Fallen Skies with Noah Wyle.
Now, I'm looking forward to that one too, because I'm pretty sure I watched that on TNT back in the day, but I don't remember dick all about it, except when I asked you if that was the Alien ones with Noah Wyle. You were like, yep. That's all I remember. So we're looking forward to firing that out there. Dude, Pape, if you haven't seen it, I'm surprised you missed it, because I know you're in the wheelhouse of knowing about some 80s and 90s films. I believe 87 was the year. Wes Craven's got his name on it. It's very schlocky. It's got some. I think it's funny as hell, especially Horace Pinker.
Yeah,
nobody's winning any awards for acting in there. It is exactly what it is. You are who they thought we are. It's that.
In today's, it would be considered a dark comedy.
Oh yeah, 100%, 100%. Now whether or not they meant that in 87, I don't know. I'm guessing not. Honestly, I'm guessing not, because the people that are trying to be serious try to get serious. So we'll talk about that though. But we're also going to talk about we're going to do some Star Wars business, because I put the shirt on. A couple of
before we do that, I got one more thing. You were talking about the Fantastic Four topper being $80. Have you seen this ad that they've just put out with their connection with Fortnite? That is the Fantastic Foreskins.
Really? Dude, see, what we need to do right now, right? Get the Oracle on this. I need her to get us an LLC so we can just be the company that everybody calls when they're about to go live with the new marketing thing. Like, you guys can pay the millions to the marketing guys. Call us, give us a couple $100, and I'll be like, bro, it says foreskin. There's no shot you want that in your media. You just don't want that. No, stop it. I say that upstairs all the time. They need to call us before they go live with that. Fantastic Four character skins. All you gotta say.
That's all you had to do. Character skins.
$500, please. Send me my money. Where's my money? Where's my money?
Oh, but no, it's the Fantastic Foreskin.
Yeah, or maybe it's not even I guess it's not technically Marvel's fault. Like Deserto probably should have called us, but they're circling the drain anyway because their articles are typically trash. That makes sense. It's probably AI. It's probably AI.
Yeah, I just want to give everyone a little laugh before we move into Star Wars.
We can actually do real quick though. I was seeing on another show on another live stream today, I think there's a final Fantastic Four trailer. Like they did a third one, and it's like dramatic. Its level of like dramatic seriousness is like up here.
Yeah.
So maybe if the Oracle wants to like scan for that in the background, maybe we could watch that at some point.
So the official runtime for Fantastic Four has come out. Hour
Very
55.
Shorter than I thought by like a half hour, which is a good sign.
Yeah, they cut out a lot of stuff from what people are saying, because I think it initially had a Superman runtime, and now it's under 2 hours. It is the shortest MCU movie to date.
Out of all of them? Out of all 5 phases?
I believe so.
Wow. I think good. I won't miss it, because like I was just saying on runtimes, you can buy yourself like a point on the rating with me if like you pace and earn your runtime and then just leave. And you just get the F out of Dodge. You know, we don't need to stick around for that. But yeah, if we want to find that trailer and take a look at it, we can do that. It definitely had a more dramatic, serious vibe to it. Like it's not as jokey. And it indicated what the stakes are clearly. You know what I mean? So it put the conflict up front and center. But yeah, we can switch into Star Wars, because I had a couple of things I wanted to ask you about. So I don't think this is a legit rumor that has any kind of actual traction, but somebody had mentioned it on Twitter, and then I think Star Wars Theory picked it up and had some analysis on. I like that channel. I think he's got great insight into like EU and canon and things like that.
Yeah, he has some inside sources there.
I'm sure. You can't be the largest Star Wars channel on YouTube and not. But the speculation there, and I say speculation, I know exactly how to say the word, people. I'm just saying it, is that Netflix might be interested in purchasing the IP. And I'm like, huh. And I wanted to get the King's thoughts on that from whatever angle he wanted to take on it.
When you sent me the show notes for this week, I went and looked up articles, and one of the big ones was that it said that what studio wouldn't be interested in buying Star Wars.
Oh, would not.
But yeah, but right now Disney has a stranglehold on it, and since they're losing money on it, they get kind of stubborn and want to make money on it. So it's not technically up for sale, and they're not shopping it around. But maybe some exec said that they would be interested if it ever did, and that's how it started getting traction.
Everybody's got a number, right? You know, what I mean, that's the thing. If
every man has a price.
Cue the music. We need to get that in the Shane O'Mac song. You know, if King's E Entertainment gets the $5 billion to let go of Star Wars, like they'd let it go, or they'd let it go for whatever the current valuation is. I mean, it's sold for $4 billion in the first place. I think its current valuation is 12. Ask me how, I don't know.
I think
they've taken losses on several things.
It's the only IP that they've bought that they have not made a profit on.
Right. Good, 100%. I just thought if we can throw Pape up there for a minute, because that's actually
maybe they could sell. They could do like what Marvel did before they became like their own studio, and they could like franchise it out.
There you go. That's what Pape just said. They can license it if they want to turn it into a cash cow. Dude, they 100% should do that, because it's clear that under the current leadership, the current creative teams there, most of what they put out is not even. I won't go all the way to the mat with it. I'll say it's not even average. It's painfully undercooked. Even the best of what they do isn't better than a B+ in most cases. Like The Mandalorian at its best to me is about a B+. You have to remove the Skywalker return thing, because that's a moment in a bubble now. That wasn't the entirety of season 2. That was the Deus Ex in an episode of season 2.
But season 2 was decent. It was before they threw. It was like they had better people writing dialogue.
100%. That's why I said it's B+. B+ is good grade. B+ would get me a couple bucks when I was a kid if I had a B+ on my report card. You know what I mean? But season 3, hot garbage. Andor, best thing they've done. We don't need to go down the list of the rest of the things, but they don't sell, they don't perform. The Acolyte can get all its fake Emmy nods all at once. Won't matter. They're not getting a season 2. Again, that's what I'm saying. Give it the sympathy nod. I mean, all you need to know about the Emmys is that none of Tyler Sheridan's shows got any noms this year.
Neither did Diego for Andor.
Right. I'm just saying, like, imagine being a guy that has 6 shows that chart the top charts of like every streaming aggregator you can find and get cockblocked completely by the Emmys. It's because the Emmys suck. Nobody cares. Nobody gives a shit about the Emmys. Pape says it could be great if they made it. Well, if you want to talk about our weekly segment on the Rogue Squadron X-Wing show, King's got some pitches he can send your way.
I got some notes.
I got some notes. That's what I mean. We do this on a weekly basis, and that's our jam. But it's apparently not Disney's jam because they can't get out of their way to do anything with Star Wars. I mean, for me, I don't know that it makes a difference that if it goes to another. I mean, it could only be someone big that could buy it anyway. But like, what does it look like if it goes to Netflix? Like, how different is let me just slow myself down. How different is Netflix Star Wars than Lucasfilm Disney Star Wars? Not very. They're dictated by the same corporate mandates.
I might be a little bit worried with Netflix Star Wars because we did see them give Christopher Nolan his nod to make a sci-fi film, which was supposed to be a Star Wars film that was rewrote to be a standalone. Yeah. So we might get Jedi farming.
Sifting. Endless sifting and lens flare. Yeah.
Lens flare.
20 FPS.
And then we find out that Death Star's in the Death Star powered by a coal.
Inside a giant space god's decaying brain. Anyway, we should do it. I want to talk less about Rebel Moon than you want to talk about the Acolyte, I assure you. But see, the rub of it is that Netflix has a couple of good shows, right?
They do.
So they do have people in-house that can do stuff.
It depends if they give them the nod or not. It all depends on who they put in. It doesn't matter if it has the Netflix brand, because Netflix has plenty of flops. It doesn't matter if it's Amazon. Amazon has tons of flops.
More than not.
Who's it? Paramount.
HBO
I
Max,
think Paramount's
Warner
nothing
Brothers.
but flops lately.
Besides Sonic. That's over.
Besides
Sonic's
Sonic.
over there, I think.
Yeah. Warner Bros. Yeah.
Hit or miss.
They have Superman.
Saying. They got all the animated stuff, but I mean that's all stuff that's pre-existed for the most part. Pape says a wee bit off topic, but did y'all see that the Vader lightsaber from Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi is hitting the auction block? No, but I'm guessing that's significantly out of my price range for collectibles, so that won't impact my day-to-day.
Will they take a check?
Yeah. Will they take a trust me, bro? It's in the mail. Because I won't even waste a check on it. I'll just tell them it's in the mail. But that'd be a dope little bit of collectible too. Obviously, that'd be pretty slick. Dude, I think of things on Netflix like Stranger Things. I happen to like the Wednesday show. I can't think of what other Netflix originals that are in genre, because they did The Witcher. So you're right. It's like it is hit or miss.
And the only reason the first season was so good is because Henry Cavill had a lot of say in it.
Had all the say in it. And they were like, no, we don't need actual say. We need this, what's her face that ran him out of Dodge over there? I can't remember her name. Rachel Weiszman, I think. I can't remember. But yeah, it's like that. There's no, who's the lore master over there at Netflix? No, it'll end up being like Rings of Power. They'll call in a couple people. They'll ask ChatGPT, hey, what are the 5 biggest storylines in Star Wars EU? They'll blend a bunch of crap and you'll get The Witcher season 4.
If Netflix bought it and they made it their own IP, if it came along with Tony Gilroy, even though he said he's never going to do Star Wars again, or someone of that caliber who would take care of the story to put out a other than Skywalker story, I think it could be fun. I think they could do a good job.
That's the Lee Bardagu show. I've read a couple of her books. That Shadow and Bone is not the one that's based on Six of Crows, right?
I don't think so. I know it's a YA novel book series.
Yeah, I think because she has the Grishnaverse as kind of like her collected novels together. But there's a duology called Six of Crows that I thought
they had
was
a movie too. They had a 2-movie run of that in that same genre, that same book series.
I missed them. I wonder. I'll have to go back and take. If Pape said Shadow and Bone was all right, it cancels. So when it get to season 3. That's usually their terminal jump off point. But.
Was it Mortal Instruments? I think is the book series.
Mortal Instruments bombed at the box office, though. I think that was a one and done. I think
that was a one and done. You think got a second one? I thought it had a second one. It was just like a very low fanfare or something.
I don't think it was Mortal Instruments. There's so many YA books that, like Amazon took a crack at a YA series that ended up going 3 seasons. I can't even remember the name. But Mortal Instruments, like if you Rotten Tomatoes it right now, like I think its fan rating is like 11. Like it bombed. Like there's no shot that one got a second one. But the book series, like you said, probably has like 8 of them. A lot of those book series go long.
Who would actually probably would do good with Star Wars, and I hate to say it, it pains me in the chest.
Oh Jesus!
But that would be Apple.
Well, maybe
Apple did fantastic with F1. Their movies and TV shows, they are usually at least like bare minimum mid, and then goes up from there. They have a few good. They have good shows. They've put out some pretty good movies. And their first theatrical release, the one with Brad Pitt, F1, I think they did a fantastic job with. It had the right pacing. It had the right type of storytelling for a racing movie, and it hit all the good beats. And then at the end, you're like into it. You're into like I wanted to watch F1 racing after watching that movie.
You're following everybody on Twitter, getting on all the sports pages. Get ready.
I walked out of there with a Porsche jacket somehow. Where did this come from?
Hell going on here? They just draped them over the back of the seats like you're going to like a Celtics game. They get the T-shirt on the back of the seat. Same thing.
Be true. I think my wife would really enjoy driving F1. I think she would have a lot of fun with it because she's a really good driver, especially when she's going fast. She does not care about who's by her. She can pass anybody. She knows how to drift. Down. Yeah, she got the draft down. She'd hide behind someone. She's it's like slingshot engaged.
There you go. Now, the closest I'm getting to that is Gran Turismo. I'm good. I'm all set with that nonsense. Can't do it. I need to see that movie, though. But, dude, you're right about Apple, too. Because I think Apple had that other show I was just asking you about. This is what I'm saying. No, nobody does, but maybe we should. Because I feel like...
I know a lot of people that watch Apple TV. It's huge down here.
Do they have Ted Lasso?
They do have Ted Lasso.
Right? See, that's the only show people tell me they watch on Apple. That's it. I want to get us to watch that Murderbot show. Side note. I think we should get in on that because I think it's season 1 and they're only on like 2 or 3 episodes.
Murderbot that suffers from depression.
Let's see. I just reopened the book on my Kindle app like an hour ago to read the first couple pages to like refresh because I've read one book. I know it's a series now, but I read book 1. I don't remember the robot having depression. So I'm not sure. Maybe they took some liberties with it. We'll have to take a peek at it. We'll have to coordinate that hit and figure that out. Because I think maybe the further away we get from Disney Plus, HBO Max, and Paramount, maybe we'll actually find some decent genre. So that's what I mean. Like when I say that I'd go back and I'd watch the one Pape just mentioned, Shadow and Bone. Like maybe Netflix has a better grip on those kind of things. Except when they're currently butchering Asimov's The Foundation series. Okay, well, then they're just as hit or miss as everybody else. But at least I'm unfamiliar with what they're offering, and I'm more likely to check out season 1 of something they eventually screw up than stick around for 3 seasons of something that pains me. Like The Mandalorian.
They had a very interesting sci-fi series where it was actually Russia who got to the moon first.
For All Mankind?
Yeah,
is that what that was
Mankind,
called?
Yeah,
I heard really good things about that.
And then each season is like a 5 to 10 year jump. Shrinking is good as 2. That's correct. That's right, Oracle.
I've never heard of that one.
That one has Harrison Ford and
I have. I've seen that on
Jason Segel.
Yes, when I was actually looking up Murderbot the other day. I think a trailer for that came on. But somebody else told me that they have another season, and I think maybe they just have more sci-fi than I'm aware of. Right? Coworkers of mine who don't travel in our circles on YouTube, who generally aren't into genre. One of them, one of their husbands said they should watch Severance. And I'm like, okay, so I read up the description on that. I'm like, so you go to work and they wipe your memory every day so you can't remember what you do, only that you have to go back the next day and everything that entails while you're on the job site. That's wild.
Yeah, it's like 2 separate brains. You have your work brain and then your at-home brain.
That's what I'm saying. So I mean, that's a pretty wild sci-fi concept. I'd get into that. I'd watch that for at least a few episodes to see, is the sci-fi any good, or the character, is the acting any good? Is there any woke bullshit in here? And if 2 of those 3 things are no, then I'm out. You know what I mean?
No, it's not like Inner Space. It's about psychiatrists.
I would watch Inner Space.
I would definitely watch a series about Inner Space.
Lock it in. We're just gonna watch it.
Yeah, we just gotta watch it.
Watch it. Yeah,
that's right.
Do that.
Inner Space.
Absolutely do that. So that's like we're gonna do Suits next time on Best of Worst of. That was the deal in exchange for Fallen Skies.
No, that was not the deal. It wasn't Suits. It was Psych.
Psych, Suits. It's all the same.
That's right. We did do Suits too.
I don't really want to.
It's not the same.
It's dudes wearing suits. What's the difference? But
It's actually the original series is really good, especially the first couple seasons.
Suits or Psych?
Both.
All right, well, you can pick
Psych,
one. I'll watch one.
every season is great.
I've heard good things. I'm not going to say I have heard good things. The other half of Star Wars that I wanted to mention, and this is also on this isn't rumor stuff. This is like article.
That's right.
Gus rules. Gustavo Fring, or not that Gus. Gus from Pet Sematary 2. He ruled. I mean, he took that kid's face.
Gus
took Budnick's face off
from Psych.
You remember that? Remember that scene from Pet Sematary 2? It's pretty gnarly. Have you heard about Pluto? Dude, listen. Like, fish are cut bait with Pluto. Know what I mean? Like, it either is or it isn't. Just saying.
Come on, son. We know that.
Gus from Psych. Swing and a miss. The other half of Star Wars, because I want to bang this one out and then get to the other stuff, right?
Get to the trailers.
Get to the other things. So Ryan Johnson has interviews. I think it was first in Variety, and then it's in Hollywood Reporter and Deadline, but I think it's originally from Variety, where he outright states that his trilogy is vaporware, was never anything committed to paper. No notes, no outlines, no character concept art, nothing.
Very good. Then they don't have to burn anything.
Saying, right? Now, I get this dude. He's probably a talented guy. I haven't seen anybody say anything bad about him in any articles, interviews. I don't remember him getting the Joss Whedon treatment, being inappropriate with women or anything like that. But the dude wrecks Star Wars for a lot of people, hands down. Like we have that expression, subversion of expectations, because of this guy. And I hate that expression now. I really do. But a lot of people like the Knives Out crap. A lot of people do.
Yeah,
a lot of people
I like
Glass
Knives Out.
Glass
Onion was a very dumb movie, but I liked it.
Okay. You know what I'm saying? And that seems, and again, just like Superman, that seems to be the consensus. It leans, people like it more than they dislike it. And I'm like, dude, the reason in the article he says that the trilogy never happened is because Knives Out blew up, and he's currently committed to like a 9-figure deal. How do we get one of those 9-figure deals from Netflix, by the way? He's got like a 9-figure deal for
we need
movies.
A body of work.
We should probably just get to work on that then.
He's a donut, and our donut has a hole in it. So there's a hole inside of our donut.
Yeah, I don't know. I want a 9-figure deal though. But that's why he hasn't done it. Did I'll take a donut though? You got any donuts? I'll take a donut right now. I'm kind of hungry.
Only paint with sprinkles.
I'll
the Homer Simpson donut.
Dude, I'm down. Send them. But I think the further this dude stays away from Star Wars, the better. He seems to have that. He might have some of the tism. He might have the burgers. He writes his own stuff. Good. He doesn't belong in another IP's playbox unless he's strictly managed and is telling a story that actual lore, appointed folks are knowledgeable about. Because I don't need another TLJ in trilogy for him.
So how I could see him getting into a IP like Star Wars again, it takes me back to a story of Kevin Smith when he was invited in to do a episode of Supergirl, to direct an episode of Supergirl. And he said that he was sitting there, and you have this thing called the show meeting. And it's where you come in and you're on a VTC with the showrunner, and they go scene by scene of your episode. And then they break it down like, this is an up scene. And this is a down scene. And that's what you need. You got to have someone who just sits there and tells them, this is an up scene.
Directs traffic.
Yeah.
Did I get that? And that's true for any guest director in any show. Like, you're stepping into somebody else's world. You need to have things that are kind of like on brand, on theme, totally consistent, those kind of things. And that TLJ is TLJ because it's everything that wasn't any of that kind of organized stuff. But I think the bigger point with him making these kind of statements now about, I'm committed elsewhere, it was always just an idea. It wasn't anything that was ever committed to paper. There's no contracts. It's just another black eye for a company that loves saying they've got this in the works, that in the works. So buckle up. Rogue Squadron's a thing. The Rey movie's a thing. Taika Waititi's a thing. Here's 6 animated shows. We're just going to make up names. Imperial Storm Warriors. There you go. It's a show. Ooh, no, it's not. Nobody cares. You know, literally the only thing I expect to see out of them in the next like 5 years is the stupid Mando Grogu movie, because I've seen footage. You know what I mean? Like we had that little
they're actually
they put out.
We see that it's in production.
Exactly. You know what I mean? They can, and I'm not even talking about animated stuff, because that shit gets churned out now whenever they want it. But live action stuff, it's not happening anytime soon. That, to mark my words, dude, the Rey movie's not a thing. It's not. Every day I wake up, I'm 1% more sure that it's not. You know, they trotted that girl out on stage to be like, I'm back as Rey. And like, yeah, they gave her a bag to do it. Dave says no one is ever going to let Archison franchise again. He really screwed up Jar Jar Abrams Star Wars. Dude, he did. But you know what? Dude, to quote Obi-Wan, who's the bigger fool? The fool or the who follows him? You know what I mean? Like, if Kathy hired JJ first, right? And it's his deal. Mm-hmm. It was his show to run. Why didn't he give this dickhead shit he had to do with TLJ? Was he not empowered to do so? But then that means nobody thought that somebody wouldn't be left holding the bag for episode 9, which everybody clearly says it's completely indicative of somebody being in a position where they feel like they had to undo crap that you just did in part 8 and then try to shovel new stuff in to wrap up a trilogy, to wrap up a 9-parter. I'm not counting Rogue One, but you know what I mean? The whole kit and caboodle. Well, how did no grown up in the room saw that? Nobody? Come on.
We're not dealing with
I don't know if it's
we're dealing with Edos.
Oh, dude, 100%. You don't need a psych degree to call that shot. That's for damn sure. But yeah, the farther this chucklehead stays away from my IP, I'll be happier for it. Maybe I'll watch Knives Out someday and go, wow, that was pretty creative, pretty interesting. I'm not there yet. You know,
you should stick with that. Don't go to Star Wars. Stay with that, because you're good. You're good at that.
It's cool. We're good. We're cool. Stay on there.
We don't need you. We don't need you.
Maybe someday I'll watch Knives Out and realize that there's like a 40-minute section of that movie that you can cut out, like from TLJ, and it doesn't matter because it's just a side quest. Maybe that's
But if you want to see Knives Out, especially Glass Onion, you can watch it on Netflix. You know what else you can watch on Netflix coming this October? Stranger Things. And the first trailer just dropped, and I think we should take a look at it.
Now, hold on. Before you roll it, I just want to say the funniest meme I saw earlier, and I didn't bookmark it, and I'm pissed because I wanted to share it with you. It's the poster of the kids on bikes. It's the red background, the classic red background, and they're heading right to left, and they're all kind of biking towards whatever. And I'm like, the comment under there was something like, bikes? You motherfuckers need hover rounds. And I'm like, dude, they probably do. They need power scooters. And I'm like, because the jokes write themselves now. Like, these kids look their age. And I haven't watched this trailer yet, but just based on the poster, they look their age. There's no shot they're playing high school juniors, because they're not even supposed to be senior year. I don't even think it's supposed to be sophomore year.
Yeah, it was like their freshman year in the last one.
They had just come up from middle school, right? So I'm like, I don't know, man. This kid looks like he could do it. If you can rent a car legally in the United States, you shouldn't be trying to play off as a teenager in a show. You're gonna be 25 in this bitch in most states. 25. They looking it. They looking it. They look like some kids that have seen some shit.
Yeah. All right. So roll that, that trailer.
I'm gonna go full screen. Boop. I like me some Steve. All right. Rocking the radio station, boosting an antenna.
Burn commencing in 5.
Oh.
4.
That's never a good sign.
3.
Come on.
2. And
is this Terminator? It is Terminator.
After
Oh,
we've
snap.
been through, this thing.
Music always
Ties
slaps.
us together. And forever.
Pulled the mask up, right? That's Sarah Connor.
Ooh, Dustin got Dustin.
You gotta cut that kid some slack in this season.
Wherever this blood leads. I need you to fight one last time.
Hopper, don't play.
Let's end this, kid.
I'm good with the jumping Demogorgon. Big D back.
Found you.
Finally. Not the final season, the finals.
Right.
The finally season.
Dude, what do you think?
It looks like it could be pretty good. Yes, their age does show. They looked their age really bad.
Yeah.
Hair and makeup could only do so much. I swear they could. They're magical. Believe me, they are magical in that section. But wow.
For sure. It looked to me that looked like Hopper trimmed up. He lost some of that dad bod from Red Guardian. Looked like he might have been slimmed up a little bit. Like get some of that tactical gear on, ready to go to work. I didn't like Fat Hopper. I don't like when guys rock the exaggerated dad bod and everybody's Homer Simpson. It's not a character I like. You don't got to be ripped up. You know, you have to make a buffoon out of yourself, Magnum PI style, with the gut and the Hawaiian shirt.
Yeah, he's like the first actor that they didn't make it in extreme shape for an MCU movie. MCU movies are making comedians get ripped since 2008. So
yeah, dude, Star-Lord, right? He went from Parks and Rec to like this dude runs a beach every time he shows up. You know? And has kept that weight off since he did it.
Paul Rudd had a six-pack when he had to play Ant-Man.
Right. But apparently you could be Red Guardian and look like me, which is good. I mean, I get fine. It's going to get somebody work, but still. Dude, I like the tone of the trailer. It feels very epic final, which is exactly what I wanted in tone. You know, the music, I like I like that 80s synth every season. Like when any of their theme music comes on, I love that. It's very period specific piece. I like that kind of stuff. They need to cut Will a break though. If something possesses this poor kid for like a third season, I'm gonna riot.
3 out of 5.
You know what I mean? Like 3 out of 5. Like now, unless you're talking about Super Bowls, 3 out of 5 ain't good. It really is. That's 60%. It's not good. You know, it looked like all the characters look like they're back, which makes sense. I don't think they're gonna cut anybody out in between. I hope it's I'll say this, right? I hope it's mainly focused on the 4 boys and 11. You know what I mean? Everybody else has to have their smaller supporting roles, like Hopper, like Nancy and Jonathan, and Steve. Steve's obviously wrapped up in it in a big way. But I need it to be about the 4 boys is where it started. It needs to come back.
The core. Yes. Which the core technically is the 4 boys and 11. Steve, Nancy, and Will's brother. Jonathan. Yeah, that's the core group. And then
the adults, Hopper and Mom.
Winona Ryder character. Them two. Yep. Everybody else, go to the hospital. You got sick, food poisoning. We're here to rescue you.
Yeah, I'm with that. And I said the same thing right around season 2 I thought they added too many people. Then when they added Max and her dickhead brother, they added a couple of other folks. And then it took a while. They didn't get him until season 3. And then in season 4 they added more. They brought in Lucas's sister. They brought in Steve's coworker from the ice cream shop, and the 3 potheads and the fucking pizza delivery van stupidness. And then Dustin's little girlfriend who had the cameo in season 4 that everybody loved. Not season 4, season 3, where they did the singing
season
with the never-ending story thing, right?
Yeah.
And then she had like a whole arc in the last season. There's too many, and she's got 10 brothers and sisters. You got too many people. Too many. Now Sarah Connor's in this one. Is she the Matthew Modine replacement from Hawkins Lab, or is she like a government DOD?
She's a government DOD agent. By the way, they came in. She's a cleanup specialist.
She came in with guns. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Containment specialist.
Containment specialist. As soon as they said, 3, 2, 1, initiate the burn, I'm like, well, we've heard them say that in the show. And that's when they were going to just start torching the roots of the infection with the fungus and shit.
Especially with the pumpkin patch.
Yes, exactly. So I'm like, I'm down for a Hawkins-wide burn. That could be ill. Like, that could be sick and like something they're racing against the clock to limit or whatever.
Because the president has ordered a tactical
nuke. To tactical nuke incoming. Now all of a sudden it's Return of the Dead 2? 1? It was one of those two. They just nuked that.
It was Night of the Return of the Living Dead.
It was one of them, but there's two of them, and then there's they kind of replaced each other. I can't remember which one, but anyways, dude, I'm nervous about the CG though, man. Some of the Demogorgons, especially when they do them like action shit, like slow-mo jump, like out of like a spring-loaded, like if you jumping up on stage at like a rock concert or something. I'm like, less is more, guys. Apply the Jaws standard here. The less I see of the Demogorgon makes it scary. And then Vecna's a badass. I don't know, commentary on Demogorgons or Vecna, but I like me some Vecna.
Vecna's a powerful D&D villain too. So
yeah, I'm with the Vecna. I knew as soon as the screen went black, the next words we were going to hear were from him. Like that's totally his.
He needs to lose an eye though.
Why?
Because Vecna in D&D has missing one eye and one arm, one hand.
Well, he's not technically Vecna. That would be a nice little Easter egg. That'd be a nice.
It would be nice if they did it.
That would be kind of cool. I would agree with that. I do love stuff like that. But I guess this is a wait and see situation. I mean, it is the end of the line. I'm glad the Duffer Brothers got their 5 years to tell the story they wanted to tell from the beginning. I think they had most of this figured out ahead of time, so they didn't run into that situation where seasons 4, 5, 6, and 7 are a drag, and we had to rotate out people whose contracts got too big and get you to like new people all over again. We didn't have to get to a point where we had to have shock deaths of main characters to shake things up and get people to come back. So I'm glad for that, honestly. But I don't know how much more. Hey Jack, just got in. Did you like Superman? I could talk more Superman for a couple minutes if King Z's got some time, but we do have a full-length review video that we also invite you to see and comment on. But I'll let King Z give you the bullet points from his perspective.
So Superman is a great jumping point for the DCU. It is the beginning of a franchise or universe that you need. I did enjoy the show. I enjoyed the movie. I think Corn Sweat did a fantastic job, but I think Christopher Holt did a better job as Lex Luthor. Nicholas Holt. I believe he embodied the intellect that is Lex Luthor in the movie. So I believe, yes, it is a good movie. If you haven't seen it, get out there and see it. If you're waiting for streaming, you're going to wait too long and you're going to get the whole movie's going to be spoiled for you. Get out there, I would say, within the next 2 weeks. Go on Tuesday.
A lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
King Z's point about Tuesday is a good play because we were talking earlier about box office, and this past Tuesday, the yesterday take was something like $25 million, which never happens in week 2 in these kind of movies, discount Tuesday or not. Like, you just don't see it. So I think that we were saying earlier that the reason the initial box office take for the weekend might have been a little lower than they hoped for or expected was because there was a lot of, this is our 50th superhero movie since 2008. Maybe it's another semi-dud. Should I spend the money? And people were doing a wait and see, but a lot of the discussion online is largely positive. I don't want to strap and agree with your points. I'll watch it. Yeah, knock yourself out, please. We invite you to see it, but we're happy to have you back anytime in our comments to let us know what you thought, because there are differing opinions. It's almost unilateral, but it's definitely not. It's not a 50-50 split on yay or nay.
No, I would say about a 70-30, right around there.
I'd go higher than that. I think it's 80-20. Again, it took me time to find them negative ones. And I think a lot of the people, the only complaint I saw in common, and to be clear, nobody was bitching about woke stuff. Nobody was bitching about girl boss stuff, because it's legitimately not a factor. Lois is a good reporter, and that interview that you might have, if you watch other channels like us, where people were talking about that interview in the trailers, that the interview between Lois and Clark early spooked a lot of people. Like, oh, here we go. She's giving him the business. It fits perfectly within the context of what not only what the movie's doing, but what the scene's about and what she is, who she is. She's a good reporter. She's not supposed to ask him softball questions. That's not the point. You know? So there's,
Oh, and
there's
by the
none
way,
of that at
Mr.
all.
Mr. Terrific, that's a home run right there.
Yeah, the bullet points right there. Mr. Terrific, Crypto, David Cornsweet plays a good man. Some people, and I won't spoil this for you because this is kind of a specific. There is a fairly, and even King Z will admit it's significant. He was okay with it. There is a fairly significant change to the canon regarding Superman's Kryptonian heritage. Is what I'm gonna. That's all I'll say. It was fairly significant. A lot of people that are book fans seem not to jive with it because it's just always been a consistent element until Rebirth, where they did a very limited experiment with what the movie took the inspiration from.
And with Superdro coming next, the one thing I'm really excited about in that movie is seeing Jason Momoa as Lobo.
I forgot all about that. I forgot about that until I heard that earlier on another live stream. And like that, see, that's to me, that's a good example of how the audience can legitimately be trusted to understand people can play more than one effing character. And we don't need to lock into these roles. You know, people can switch teams from Marvel to DC. You can be Aquaman 5 years ago and understand that, hey, new beginning, reboot, now I'm Lobo. Like you'd have like your IQ would have to be like shoe size or smaller to not be able to grasp that. Like my 9-year-old understands that, you know, like he gets it. We've seen that stuff happen for him. Like, hey, look at this guy that was in this episode of Star Trek. Now he's over here in this episode of Stargate or whatever. He's 9. He knows it's two different things.
Michael Keaton. How many roles has he played since Batman?
847,000. I don't know.
And then he was Birdman.
Dude, go back and look at any of the stuff. Dude, our retro watch and our best of worst of. The most fun I have reviewing those things is seeing all the familiar faces that are younger from crap they did that I didn't know they were on. I'm like, oh, that dude was on Breaking Bad, or whatever the thing might be. I love that kind of stuff. Jack says, yeah, I saw it. Only part I didn't like was his backstory, but I'm okay with the plot. Again, see, go watch our review because we have a pretty good discussion on how that goes down and how we each interpreted that and how we both thought it could be retconned. Because I think that's the sticking point. I think that might actually be something they undo. I don't want to spoil that for anybody that's watching. But
I also liked it because it didn't change who Superman was. He didn't automatically go like, I have to go do this now.
Right. Now I'm Homelander. Not Homelander, the other guy. Invincible.
No, Homelander still works.
It does. But I was thinking Invincible and the mustache man guy. Ultraman. Omni-Man. I knew what I was talking about. Lobo looks so different from Aquaman. It'll make it easy. Yeah, exactly. But these are the studio execs that think, you can't ever replace Hugh Jackman for some reason.
I love
that the Superman saved everyone, everything. The score was dope. I did. And again, there's nothing for me. It was like it's death by 1,000 paper cuts to get to the review score that I gave it. That's all. Like I said earlier in the show, King, I thought of one more thing I didn't like. And it's that he didn't ever was in Clark Kent mode and hit you with the theme song Rising. There's a disaster on the horizon. Rip. And you get the super S. Like they didn't have that. How do you not have that?
See, but if it was year 1 Superman, you would probably get that. We're in year 3 Superman. So
yeah, but this is still our first dance with it. It'd be like having a new Batman movie and you not getting the shot of the bat signal. Come on. You'd be like, the fuck are these people on about no bat signal? It'd be like Spider-Man not having a good jump.
Symbol. The one with Michael Keaton didn't have a bat symbol until the very end.
It still had it. You know what I'm saying? Dude, they could have closed out this movie how like what's the show? Help me. The show, Superman show.
Lois and Clark?
No, the other one, Smallville. Dude, no suit the entire show. The last scene of the last season is that dude running to the camera and finally ripping the thing open and flying. It was at the end of 10 years, but they still had it. I needed the shirt, but the score was good. Saving people was awesome. I said to King, I really wish he was the one that headed off the Civil War over there, or not the Civil War, but like the war across the war in Baravia. I wanted that, but Guy Gardner got to play it up and give me the bird 4 times. It's pretty good. I'm all right with that. So yeah, there's a good review to have on while you're doing the dishes or driving to work tomorrow. Think James Gunn said he kept it in his suit, his collar would stick out, I think, but you're right. And again, there's just some things I have to make. You just have to work in. Like I get the whole, it's not supposed to be realistic 100% of the time. Briefcase, suit, in his shoe. I don't care. It could be wherever you want it to be. Like the other thing I was thinking
has it in his ring, so.
But hasn't he always had it there though? And he used to be like the Inflato stupid suit thing. Now it's nanotech and Everything's nanotech. But I got one more thing for King Z since we're on the superhero roll, right? I'm gonna ask you. Somebody was asking me earlier why we can't have solo superhero movies anymore. Everything's a team. Everything's got a cameo or something cooked right into the main plot. And I'm like, I don't have a good answer for that because I would go watch a solo Green Lantern movie tomorrow. Green Lantern even. I would watch a solo Spawn remake tomorrow. Wonder Woman tomorrow. Why does everything need to have the damn team that they haven't built to yet?
Because they're trying to build to the team to make more money. Remember, we'll all meet again in Spaceballs 2, the search for more money.
Switch for more money.
So,
dude, I hate that. And, it slays me because the question that people keep asking then is it seems like studio execs, they try to pass that off by saying, well, if Batman's having a crisis, people are going to ask, well, why didn't the Justice League come to save the day? And like, bro, you realize we've had 100 years of comics where people are okay overlooking that, right?
mm-hmm.
Like we're okay with, not having Thor show up to bail out Hulk every time some shit goes down. You don't have to do that. You're doing like what King Z says. You think packing more people in for the spectacle makes it more likely for me to go see your movie. And I'm telling you, I don't think that's a drive point for a lot of us unless it's A-list superheroes.
And it will be like where you did see that everything's connected. But when you're in the very first one, you technically don't have anything to connect to. Right. The only one that would make sense in a cameo, and they did have it, was Peacemaker. Because Peacemaker is canon.
He was just in, and he was in a TV spot. You know what I mean? Like that's what I mean. Like, so I'm good for the cameo, but cooking people into like the main cast and like the main plot, it almost feels a little desperate. Like, maybe one of these characters. Mr. Terrific was awesome. Great, we can book now. Now he's in everything. Now that's happening. He's in everything now. That's going to be a thing because everybody loved that dude. Hawk Girl. Dude, that's the thing. I haven't heard anybody talking about Hawk Girl at all. Not a word. And that chick.
I've seen her interviews. Her interviews are really good. Her and Nathan Fillion.
She's funny.
Yeah, her and Nathan Fillion are on like the tour together, and it's been really good. So, and
he's a funny dude, so I bet they play off really good in interviews together.
Yeah,
anyway.
And that was the thing they were talking about, like their relationship is, where it's not like, oh no, this guy, I wish he would just go away. It's more of like this again, and let's joke about it. Right. You're right. We do need a poll. We
should have done
talked about it last
hour and a half ago. Damn it.
We will figure this out.
Yeah. Well, we started with tech difficulties today, so it wouldn't have mattered anyway.
But we will say, please join us next week. Next week, we mark a 1-year anniversary. We've been doing this for 1 full year of FrostCast, and we are very proud of what we've done. We are still looking to grow. We're still looking to do better. We're almost to 400 subs. That means when we hit 500, and you guys go watch some of our other videos,
it would be helpful.
We'll be able to start offering memberships, and we'll start looking like what we could do for membership onlys. This is off into the future. We are still looking to not just do this every week. We're looking to build and do some more stuff, and more stuff will come as we grow and, don't have to come out of pocket for so much stuff. But anyways,
literally everything. Anywho, yeah, dude, we appreciate you guys, and especially sticking through us with the tech difficulties up front. Thank you for assisting in conversation as always. It makes it way more fun. It makes it a lot easier to go over time. We didn't even hit on every topic that we had because we carried so much with Superman today based on your participation. So much love. I do appreciate that. I'll leave you guys with a quick recommendation that I put up front. Go check out for yourselves. Don't just watch the little bit that I did in the separate video on K-pop Demon Hunters. Go check it out on Netflix. It's antithetical to Ironheart, is what I'll tell you. So,
and also go on YouTube and watch the soundtrack. It'll be hooked in your brain for days.
Is that what you guys were talking about when we came on?
Yes.
Yeah, dude, it is. That's exactly right. I highly recommend Golden, and this is what it sounds like. There you go.
Soda Pop isn't that bad either.
I don't like Soda Pop. I do like Free. I like that R&B flavor of Free. That was a good duet. I like that. But anyways, guys, go check that out. Maybe we'll, if Kingsley and the Oracle watch it, maybe we could do a review on that. Because I've seen it like 9 times. Because these sons of bitches at Netflix struck the damn video 9 effing times for apparently using too much of their clips to say how much better this is than everything Disney and the MCU are doing. So maybe you dickheads at Netflix cut me some slack and just play my damn video. Jesus. Anyway, sorry about that rant. It happens sometimes. I put a lot of work in that. Not the rant, the video. It was a lot of work. But all right, Kingsley, get us out of here. Now I'm hungry. took
All
everything out
right.
of me.
Hit my music.
Do we have the Shane O'Mac? We don't have it.